Okay, and take two. So, hi guys. I know that you're probably not there. Let me get onto the old one and then put a note on there to please go to the new live stream, because guess what? I messed up again today. So I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes, let you guys come on board. Hello, Candace. Thank you much. Today is one of those days where nothing is wanting to go right, so I do apologize. And right now I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to do today, because I had in mind to do a light up card, but you know what? If my husband doesn't know where my batteries went, I can't do them. So I'll have to do something else instead. Let me get the link to the old, to the new and to the old, so I can put a note on it. And you guys are awesome. Gosh, there's a bunch of you guys already here. You guys are really good. You're awesome. Grab the new link, put it in the description and notes of the old link. So how is everybody else's day going? So we have got Candace, we've got Miss Elizabeth, and I watched part of your stream today too, honey. We've got Michelle and Linda and Mary and Susan. Welcome, guys. I appreciate you guys showing up even when I have no clue what the heck I'm doing. So what my plan was I've got this new die. I was bad. I went shopping. I went to I think it was at Joann's, and I found a die that I just had to have it, so I went ahead and bought it. And I thought that would be really, really cute to do a light up card, which I've only done a couple, and I don't have the easy lights. I had bought this stuff a long time ago before I heard of the easy lights. So this is copper tape, and these are actually little LED lights, and I've got a ton of this stuff. So I'm not going to buy any easy lights until after I get this stuff used up. That being said, I don't know where my batteries are. It's just one of those things where you're having one of those days where you're just tired, and then you finally get around to putting things together like what you need, and then you don't have what you need. So anyway, I've got a couple of ideas I could do. I could make a different type of card using that pretty die I was thinking of, or I could grab out some Yupo paper and try out some new alcohol inks that I just got. I finally put together like an inventory sheet in ClickUp, where now I can tell wherever I am what exactly I have. I mean, I tried this at one point before using OneNote, but I have so much stuff I wound up putting in OneNote that it wound up getting very bulky, and I couldn't find it quick. Hello, Miss TR. Hello, Crystal. And hello, Carmen. Thank you guys for dropping in. So I'm thinking you guys probably, I'm torn. Would you guys rather see alcohol inks, or would you guys rather see me try to do something else with this cool die that I got? I mean, I'm still going to do the light up card, but I can't do it today because I don't know where my batteries are. And my sample was doing so well, and if I had not been trying the sample, if I hadn't been doing a sample card, it really wouldn't have worked out at all. Oh, snow? No. I do not do snow. I am in Florida, and I live here on purpose. I don't know if I'd mention it to you guys. I probably did, but I'm actually originally from Alabama, and I moved south to get away from the colder weather. So I'm going to grab some Yupo paper, and I'll be right back. Okay. don't really want to get my big thing of it out, but excuse me. Okay, so I've got some Yupo paper out and I've got some vellum, so I figure we can play with that tonight. And I will make this other card I had in mind later. Right now, I guess I'm just going to do some quick backgrounds. That'll be fun. And I'm going to take this out, so hopefully I don't make too humongous of a mess. And I've got a bunch of scraps of vellum, so I think I'm going to just start with that. Yes, lift-off ink. I do have a lift-off ink pad, so maybe I want to start off with doing something with that. I have not. I've got it, and then I haven't tried it. Partially because I only had a few of the alcohol inks, and I'm starting to build my collection, but what I just got was a bunch of browns, which would be good for coffee. And these things are kind of cool too. These are ink cozies that are supposed to make it so that you don't spill your alcohol ink. So that would be kind of cool too. I got those about a month ago and have never actually used them. So I appreciate you guys being patient with me because, like I said, I had something else in mind altogether and messed up because I can't find those batteries. So this is a pack of Yupo paper that I picked up from Amazon a while back. As always, I will leave you guys a link to that. I am thinking I'm going to start just leaving the links over on my blog because that'll cut down the work and you guys will still have the information. But it doesn't help when, in this case, like I've had videos for the last week, but I've been working on things on my blog trying to get the speed up and that sort of thing, which is finally where I want it to be, which is awesome. Still, I just yesterday got up the blog post that goes along with that shaker dashboard that we did a couple of weeks ago. Okay, so let me go ahead and trim this guy down. If it'll fit in my trimmer. One of the neat things on these, and I haven't done it on this newer one, I had actually broken the finger guard on my original Fiskars trimmer, and I let Fiskars know. I asked them just for a replacement, that's all I wanted, and they sent me a new trimmer. This has been quite a while, but it does have this little piece here. That means I can remove it, which means I should be able to, but I don't want to break it, should be able to get that paper in here without having to go over to my other trimmer. I'm going to go over to the other trimmer. I will break it if I do it here. So I will be right back. Okay, so I am back again. And again, I want to thank you guys because you are so friggin' patient. I mean, it's just one of those days that it's just not going the way I want it to. So that, I believe, is 9. Yeah, 9. So I can cut it down to 4.5. So it's 4.5 by 6, which makes it a little bigger than an A2 panel. And of course now I can't tell which side is which, but I don't think it really matters. I do want to try out some of these new inks that I just got. I got this coffee kind of set. Got latte, espresso I already had, caramel, ginger, and 2 that I've seen people use and I thought, oh my god, I need those. And that's pitch black and Snowcap White. This one's a mixative, and the reason I feel like I need those is because sometimes you just need that pop of white or to brighten it up a little bit. And I have not played with these in probably, I don't know, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, something like that. So I do have this. I do have some alcohol, not a lot, that needs to be refilled. So I'm going to go ahead and just start playing a little bit. And like I said, you guys are really, really, really being real patient, and I appreciate it. So I'm going to start off with just a couple of drops of the espresso. And I'm already making a mess. And add some ginger. And since I haven't tried this, I don't know what the ooh, that's pretty. I have no idea what the colors look like. But since it was a set, I'm assuming that they will go together well. So we've used espresso, and we used some ginger. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some caramel, however you guys say it. That one is very similar to the ginger. The ginger is just a little bit more red. Okay, and then we've got latte, which I'm assuming is going to be a lighter color. So that's kind of interesting looking. And this is from We Are Memory Keepers, and I think it's to kind of do kind of an airbrush look thing. I've just got it for this billow thing here. And I'm sure that I got it at some point when it was on sale. That does need some more color in there, and I think I'm going to add in some gold. I've got some of the gold mixative. This to me kind of looks like somebody made a mess with their coffee. Are you telling me to focus, Miss TR? Because that is kind of funny. I was just mentioning to my husband I need to tell you guys, or I need to write a blog post about this because it's funny. I'm going to put some more of the caramel. But I don't know about you guys, but I know that a lot of folks have this distraction issue. And I am one of those. Sometimes I get distracted easy. Oh, focus coffee. I mean, bleh. Coffee good, focus camera. So did my camera go out of focus and I didn't know it? I'm actually thinking I need to leave this one alone because it kind of looks nice just the way it is. Those colors worked real well together. And it is starting to dry a little bit, which is good. And I didn't actually do anything but just drop the ink down. Okay, gotta clear a path so I can move this one back a little bit, let it start drying, and bring in this other panel. And I wonder how that would look, some of the browns in. I think I'm going to try with some green, because that I think would match better. I'm not willing to try it with, I was thinking flamingo, which is that bright pink, and changed my mind. And I'm going to have to get me some more of that stuff soon too. So this one again is latte, and I do really like this ginger. I was just thinking I was about to knock over the latte, which is why I just put that little bumper thing on. The Ink Cozy, that's what they're called. And the Ink Cozies are from scrapbook.com. I think it's their brand too. I'm not positive. But okay, let's try some green in with that. Ooh, and adding a little bit of splatter. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but in this one that all I used was browns, there's some blue popping up. I have no idea where the blue came from. This one here is very green now. I'm going to add in some caramel. And then I think I'm just going to spray it with a little bit of, oh, that looks neat. That's just a little bit of alcohol that I've got in a sprayer. So that looks kind of interesting. And I'll add in a little bit more ginger. So how many of you guys like playing around with alcohol inks? That one is starting to lose a lot of its green. I'm cutting another panel off screen so that I have actually got enough space. So now I've got 2 more to play with. But yeah, this one has got some blue undertones showing up. And I'm going to kind of let some of those darker, richer chocolatey colors drip down a little bit. Ooh, and I just thought of something else that you can do. When alcohol ink is still not wet and not dry, but a little bit tacky, you can add foil to it because it's still sticky. And I've got all these scraps, so I'm going to just try it in a couple of places that look mostly dry over here and see how that does. So we've got a little bit there. I think I want a little bit here. Ooh. But when you wonder what to do with some of those scraps that you've got, this is some of those foil scraps you've got. This is a good use of it. Except for when you would do like what I just did there, it just kind of use up all of the ink because it wasn't wet and I smushed it around. And I don't really like the way that looks. So I'm going to add a little bit more of the blending solution to kind of blend out those sharp edges. And this one looks really kind of interesting too. I think I'll add a little bit of silver to it. See if it works anywhere. Looks like it's still too wet. And I, of course, can't leave well enough alone. Okay, so Crystal, you've been having trouble with your, Okay, so Michelle and Crystal, you guys are talking about videos and how you have trouble with those. What kind of software are you guys using? I mean, I know that there are a few people on the, in the stream, I mean, in the chat that work with, do their own videos. I know that if Elizabeth is still here, she does it. and you guys, well, I've got basically this is my desk. This is my work desk. Well, not my work desk, my home desk. But I've got 3 monitors, which is part of the light that you're seeing. It's from my YouTube channel page, whatever, for the video. So I've got that up, and then I've got a tripod with my camera over. And I've been fighting for the last couple of years trying to find what I really like the most when it comes to the camera, because I'm with you, I'm never really happy with it either. I'm still not satisfied, to be honest. Okay, I got a little bit of silver on there, but those do look kind of cool. But you see what happens when they're wet? When it's wet, you end up with the ink on the back of your foil. Okay, I need another cutting board or something so I can move this one out of the way and work on these other 2. Okay, so I've got a couple more panels here. I think I'm going to go with let's do some blues and do kind of a, oh, and the purple would look good too, like an oceany theme. And I should have gotten some more alcohol solution when I was at the store, because I'm almost out now. So this one is patina, and it's all over my hand. And then we've got turquoise. Don't know why I'm worried about getting that on my hand. I mean, these colors are going to match my nail polish, right? And then we've got this one, which is amethyst. Which in the camera looks like it's a dark blue, but here in front on me it looks like it's kind of a vibrant purple. And then this one is pool. And I do think that that purple needs to go a little further in, bring some into the center. And what's neat is, like, today I'm not really messing around with it that much. I'm just dripping it down and then letting all the colors kind of just settle out and blend together. Okay, and this one is some silver mixative, so let's see how that turns out. Just adding a little bit of that. What I really want to get is some of the alloys, because those kind of settle on top. That would be really cool. And since I've got the white, I might as well give it a shot, right? Oh, that's kind of neat looking. This time I'm going to give gravity a little bit of a hand. Yeah, TR, it's kind of sucks when you're a tidy crafter like we are, because you know what? Some of the coolest things are all when they're messy. Like, at some point I have to take these and do some stuff on my gel plate, but gel plate means messy. Okay, so that's just kind of scattered around, and this time I'm going to come in with the flamingo, which is that bright pink. And then I want some oranges, so we've got Valencia, and then we've got sunset orange. I think this one's a lighter orange than the other. Okay, it actually looks a little bit more of a brownish orange, where Valencia kind of looks like a reddish orange. Then I'm going to also add in some pink sherbet. So looking back at the coffee looking ones, these look really, really kind of cool. So I think both of these would make a good coffee card. And this one I think is tacky enough that I can probably add some foil onto it. But I kind of want the gold foil, so let me grab some of that. So I just placed it on top, and I'm just wiping it down. And now we've got a little bit, I'm going to do the whole thing like that. There's some like little pieces that are just like little dots over the entire panel that are not quite dry. So let's see how that turns out. This is one of the reasons why you keep all of your foil. So that looks kind of cool. Now this one is still pretty wet, so I can't go over it with much foil. I'm not going to go over it with the foil yet. I need to wait for it to dry a little bit more. But I think I like that. What do you guys think? Do you like the foil? I need to swatch my alcohol inks, Mary. You're absolutely right. At some point, I think I'll do that on a video. But to be honest, I felt like my collection was fairly small. I've got a few, I think maybe 3, maybe 4 sets, because I buy them in those 3-packs. What I was shocked at was when I was at Joann's, I think it was, they had the mixatives like in these bottles that were like this big. I was like, oh my god, that is too cool. Of course, I didn't get them. And another thing that really sucks about Joann's and Michael's is the way that they are not doing their coupons as well anymore. I think that the 3 locals, which is Hobby Lobby, Joann's, and Michael's, they all know what each other's doing, and since Hobby Lobby's no longer doing their 40% off coupons anymore, the other 2 think that it's not really worth it for them to do it either. But what I went into Michael's today. Actually, I went into Michael's and Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby, I picked up nothing because they had basically zero. They basically had nothing on sale that I wanted to get. And then when I went over to Michael's, I did find one thing. I wanted some, oh, I forgot what it's called. Anyway, I did find one thing, but I noticed that they basically had only a couple of people in the store. So it's like, okay. Yeah, I've never seen an AC Moore. We don't have it over here. That kind of sucks. Now, you probably are noticing, I think the lighting is changing a little bit, and right now I'm at a point where at this time in the afternoon comes through my window over some trees from my neighbors, and right now it's just peeked up over a cloud and hits me straight in the eyeballs. But it's good for you guys because you'll be able to see a little bit better, I think. Okay, so this one is starting to get that little bit that's beading up. Okay, there, I think you can see it. Those are the areas that were able to hold the foil better. And this one's starting to get a little bit, but there's a lot of it that's still shiny. So I think I do want to still do some on some vellum. So let me grab another, let me move all of these off screen, get them out of the way so I have a little bit more space. And I've got a bunch of vellum scraps because, like you, I don't like throwing anything away. But then I wind up with all these bins of my leftovers that I don't ever get around to using. And that kind of sucks. I mean, some of these scraps, because I can recognize what's on them, this scrap here, you can see there is a line of pink ink, which means that I printed on this and the printer sucked, And it's when we had a color laser jet. And this is a scrap from something that I made on that one. Which, if I remember right, it was probably a foiling project that I did for a friend. Okay, do I have anything else to put this on? Here's another little cutting board. But on this one, I think I'm going to just do kind of this will be basically an accent strip, I think. So just got a little bit there, and I think I want to go with, I'm going to go back with some of the coffee colors. I really, really, really like the ginger. Okay, and then add some more of this. And it is causing the vellum to curl up a little bit. I noticed that on the others too. It was curling up a little bit because it was wet. But since this is such a narrow strip, this is kind of interesting looking. That's going to kind of look like a watercolor wash or something, except that it is too rolled up. So all of the color is pooling at the bottom. Okay, the blue things, these are called ink cozies, and I've got them at scrapbook.com. I'll leave you guys a link to that in the description so that you can see those. But I think that this is the first time I've used them, but they're definitely helping. It's making so these do not fall over, which is nice. So this one is espresso. So see what happens when I add just a little bit of the dark. And let it kind of slide. I'm so glad that we all like playtime, because that's all this is. I had a plan that fell flat. But maybe I can do the light up card next week. Yeah, this looks like a coffee mess. Get this out of the way because these guys look like they are about ready for some foil. So I'm going to go ahead and put the gold foil down again over my blue panel. Just lightly burnishing that down. And then let's see how much of that gets picked up. So that looks pretty cool. I'll do the same thing over here on my pink and orange. That looks kind of cool. And then here's these other ones. This one looks like the parts that were wet are starting to get pretty nice and dry. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and add some more foil to this one. And see how that does. Oh, that's kind of cool. And then get that part there that's a little wet. Didn't go over quite as much as I meant to. There we go. I'm gonna have trouble using these. So you want me to put some alcohol onto this one, TR? I just noticed I put this one off to the side to let it just dry a little bit, and now instead of it being curved under, it's now curved over. That is just so interesting. And the parts of it are starting to dry pretty well. I am going to go back over this as soon as it has time to dry enough with some of that gold too and see how that does. But these little panels look kind of cool. And now I'm going to have trouble using them. Nobody else has that problem but me, right? You don't have any trouble using the stuff that you make. Okay. Still afraid to have it to actually sit on top of each other, so I'm trying to just sit them on top of things on my desk. Try to stay flat. Let me get out another one of these little strips. Because that one, I like the way that turned out, even though it did kind of curl. And I want to do some with a couple of other colors. Because I'm not going to use, I know I'm not going to use these bits of vellum for anything because it's got that print. I don't like that print on there. You have a bin full of backgrounds. Well, worse than that, I've also got all of those, all of the pattern papers, and that is probably the worst thing. I don't make as many panels because I feel guilty that I have all this pattern paper that I never use, and part of the reasons that I don't use it is because I didn't make them. Okay, so let's try this one too. I could do the other, let it blend together a little bit. I'm making a mess all over the place. Okay, picking it up with another piece of vellum. Okay. That one does look kind of interesting too, though. I am going to pour a little bit more of it off, I think. So here's the one that we did that's the coffee colored. And it, I think, is ready for some foil. Put the lid back on these guys so I don't accidentally tip them over. Those out of the way. Bring this one back. And then using that same sheet of gold foil. I figure this one's going in the trash when I get done today, so I'm going to use up all of the foil I can get off of it. Okay, let's see how that looks. And this is probably about the right width, about the right width to go on the front of a slimline or a mini slimline. That would be pretty cool. I guess I know what that one's going to be. That's neat. And I'd say this one is pretty much dry, so I'm going to take it and move it out of the way. Bring these guys back in, which they look like they're about dry as well, but that one doesn't have enough ink going all the way down, so I need to add a little bit more to it, I think. And this is what happens, TR, when we add the alcohol blending solution over the ink. It basically reactivates it. I'm going to put some of this amethyst. And then try sliding it around a little bit. And letting it blend together. That needs a little pink too, though. And While that one's playing around, do a little bit of blending. While it's doing its thing, I'm going to add some of this gold to this piece because I think it's about ready. Okay, so this one wasn't quite dry enough. Okay, camera. There we go. Now the camera's focused again. So this one wasn't quite ready, although some of the gold did come down on it, but I wound up pulling off quite a bit of the colors there. It still looks nice, but it wasn't quite ready. Let's see if I can get this to dry a little bit. And to make it kind of look balanced, I'm going to go ahead and just do the rest of it. Oop. So this one's got gold up in there. This part still looks a little wet, but it didn't pick up any of the gold, so I'm not sure what happened with that. Okay, it picked up a little bit more. So that one looks kind of neat. Ooh, Michelle, you're right. These would look good for, especially the purples. Those would look good for flowers. So I'm going to bring out one more of those, and this time I think I'm going to do it in blues because blue flowers. And so this one is some turquoise. Let me get some of this blending solution down first. I keep on getting ink all over myself. It's a good thing I'm wearing a blue shirt and I have blue nails. Put a little bit of that purple in. Bring in some of the patina. I'm going to try to just hold it down for just a minute to see if I can get it to dry a little bit like that. That is kind of an interesting pattern. Oh yes, Michelle, you can use alcohol inks with any non-porous surface. So things like cardstock, everything soaks right into them. Vellum is plastic, so you can use it on that. You can actually use it even on acetate. It does... Each substrate is going to wind up reacting a little bit differently. So this one now has kind of blended itself out, but I like those little drips that are starting to come back now that I kind of let it settle back. So now I'm going to try to add some gold to this guy over here. Could go with I'm going to go with silver this time. I've been using up that gold one a bit. So we do have a little bit of the silver on there. And it's only sticking to the places that are still a little tacky. So now we've got a few little veins of silver in this one. But I think that is so pretty. So back to what we've got so far. We've got our coffee. Oh, this one's not the coffee. Where's my coffee? Here's the coffee one. I absolutely love the way that this one turned out. And the gold works out really good. French toast! Crystal, you need to make me some French toast. Michelle, you said that the blue and green one reminds you of the beach? Absolutely. I was thinking ocean waves. So then we've got this other one that has got some green undertones to it. It is kind of springy. So that's interesting. This one makes me think of going swimming. So that would probably work real good for like a pool card or a mermaid card. This one is bright and summery and makes me think of Florida. Or it could also be a sunrise. But then these, I think these two would be really good for, like someone said earlier, that these would be real good for cutting out pieces of flowers or die cutting flowers. I think that is what I'm going to do with those. And they seem to be dry enough, which is good. The blue one is not quite dry. I'm so glad I found another purpose to use these guys for. I'm always wanting to repurpose things. So for this one, I think I'm going to go with some oranges. And that one can be for some orange flowers. So that would be nice. I think I'm going to add some regular alcohol to this. It does dry faster than the blending solution does, but it should have a little bit of a different effect. So this one is Sunset Orange. Then I'm going to add in the Flamingo. Probably putting down more than I need there. And then, oh yes, then Valencia, which is that brighter orange. And I have to admit, I have not quite figured out how to use the mixatives really, because I know it mixes in with everything, but so far I haven't been able to get it to where I can actually see it. Like this one is the gold mixative, and I've tried it a few times, but I haven't been really happy with how it turns out. So let me know if you can, down in the comments and everything, let me know if you've used the gold mixative and how it works for you, and what are you doing differently than what I've done. I mean, I'm letting it blend in, but it's kind of where it loses its luster. Okay, the blue one is done. Let me add some gold foil to that. Actually, I think I'm going to add that silver foil again on this one. This one, I'm thinking it might pick up just around the edges. And here we go again with the focus. I've got a little bit of the silver there, because this one I think got too dry. There we go, there's a little bit more. And then let me see if I can get some more on this area here, right on that edge. There we go. So this one's got a little bit more. So that's kind of interesting. I do have to say that this palette's probably got more foil on it than everything else. So you can kind of see some of the dingy browns. To me it looks like dingy browns in with the orange, and that's where I actually put the gold mixative. And so I really don't know what I'm doing with that. So that one's going to probably be another minute or two for it to finish drying. So what do we do when something's not done yet? Get on another one. So what colors do I want to do on this one? I think I want to do another coffee one. I really like how that first coffee one turned out. I think I'm going to wet this one down with just regular alcohol to start and see how that looks. And here's some of the latte. Okay, so it drips a lot faster with the just plain alcohol, I think. Let's give this one kind of a latte wash. And it's wet on both sides. And we'll go in with the ginger. And then some espresso. Oh wait, yes, I have not been using the caramel. So this would be real nice if it actually dried this dark. When it comes to with the alcohol and the alcohol blending solution is a mixture of alcohol and resin, from what I understand, and alcohol is basically straight alcohol. So that's why they don't behave the same way. This guy needs to be flattened. See if we can get this one to dry, because I like that pattern. This is kind of cool looking. I just need it to dry enough so that I can put that foil on. So this one, since I've already tried adding in some of the gold mixative, which this piece here shows, from where I'm sitting, shows a little bit more sheen and a little bit more gold tone than the other places do on it. And I think the reason this one is actually staying on the surface is because it was wet on the other side. Yes, I sprayed alcohol straight on this one. I don't remember what I did on any one of them. I'll have to look at the video to see again. But one, I sprayed alcohol straight onto the panel to start, where all the others I've been using alcohol blending solution, which I need more of, because you can see it's getting low. Which is probably one reason why I use it so sparingly. And I mean, I love this stuff. This makes such really cool backgrounds, but I'm always thinking I'm gonna run out of my supplies. I need to use my supplies, but I don't want to use them up, because then you have to go back and buy more, right? And since that is very wet over there, I'm gonna grab another scrap and just see if I can pick some of that up. As you can see, this is very, very wet here. I guess I'm trying to do something similar to, you know, a gel press lift. So that looks kind of interesting, but I think it needs more of something. So I'm going to let it dry while these are drying, and I'm going to add some more color to it. And we are right at about 6:30. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go and let you guys get to your dinners and such. But thank you so much for dropping in and hanging out with me as I tried to figure out what the heck I was doing. I promise, I will do a light up card using the copper tape once I find my darn batteries. I have no clue what I did with them. I know what container they're in. I know what kind of container they're in, but what happened to it, I don't know. So anyway, I will chat with you guys soon, and keep crafting, and you know that if I can do this, you guys can too. Talk to you later, guys.